What is up? Welcome, everyone. It is I, your hostess with the mostest, Divine Intervention. Hopefully, here to strap in for a full episode of our AEW Dynamite recap and review. Apologize for the viewers who were with us last time. Obviously, technical difficulties continue to plague this house, but we will not be stopped. As always, joined by All Elite Joker.
Good evening, everyone.
All right. Well, we picked a great week to come back because not only is this the go home show for Full Gear, but we've had a lot of matches that were made official. We have had some confirmed returns. A lot of very interesting stuff to get into this go round.
Indeed. Quite the show.
Yeah, I mean, it was really good. Coming at you live from Bridgeport, Connecticut this week. Of course, in the tri-state area, considering the pay-per-view is going to be in Newark, New Jersey. So very close by. During the show, I may or may not have mapped it. I guess we should just go ahead and get right into it. I mean, definitely wrong versus Jericho and Sammy Guevara. I don't know if people were able to tune in last week, but Sammy and Danielson had a one-on-one match last week, and Sammy really was it Sammy he fought, or was it? Hold on, I have my notebook right here. I'm gonna look it up. But they worked his eye pretty badly. Yeah, it was the both of them. Like final view, big old swollen eye, blood gushing. It was not cute. So they revisited that injury this week. And the only other notes I put here was about Jericho being swung while holding the bat. I mean, everybody knows how much he hates Claudio's signature swing. But Claudio with a sharpshooter for the win. I mean, pretty much setting up the what do we? This is not a fatal four-way, but like, you know,
it's a four-way match.
Yeah. Not Jericho. Danielson and Sammy have been beating the crap out of each other a lot lately.
Yeah. It makes you wonder if that's part of his punishment to get whooped up by Danielson every other week.
Hey, man, it might be. Interacting. What are your thoughts? I mean, do you think this is the end of that? Like, who else do they feud with?
I don't know, and it's really hard because it's like you said, who else are they going to feud with? Plus, we all feel like this is going to end with Danielson winding up with that ROH title, you know, and it's like, how else do you get there? I mean, I would like for this to be the end of it and them somehow figure out a way to, like, you know, come back around or let this be the caveat to the end of it with Danielson taking the time. I don't know, but yeah, I've been over the JAS because I mean, we've been doing this since I have no idea how long it's been at this point. Like, hasn't it been like since Double or Nothing that we've been doing this feud? Like, it's ridiculous.
Yeah. Guys, I'm so sorry. I'm not really sure what's going on with my connection this evening. We're gonna try to push through it as best we can, but yeah, I'm not really sure if this is the end or not. But I am looking forward to the match. Any idea on who walks away the winner?
I mean, feasibly, because it is a four-way match, I mean, you could have the title switch right now and let this be the end of it. That would be my, ideal situation. You have Sammy eat the pin, and either A,
Mm-hmm.
give it back to Claudio or go ahead and put it on Danielson. I would, of course, want him to win in a one-on-one match, but I would more so rather this be over.
Yeah. Yeah, I kind of agree. I think that it's time for the groups to kind of move on. The firm, I'm sure, after we see what goes on with Moxley and MJF, could stand to interact with a bigger group of people. Let more of these, you know, single stars kind of stand out and do more on Dynamite and Rampage.
This
Yeah, no, look, it's been going on for a while, so
a long, long while,
yeah,
months while.
I don't know how many more variations we can do of this. So hopefully, as we are bringing 2022 to a close, we we can go ahead and close out this feud.
Indeed.
Moving on, we had a Darby Allin video package, kind of a follow up to last week.
Body
Um,
bags. Yeah.
he was crowd surfing in a body bag, which was very cool. His granddad came by with the Uber ride, came to scoop him up off the side of the road.
That there, Darby
Um,
Allin loved himself some body bags, let me tell you.
Look, as soon as I saw it and it was black and white, I was like, there's only two people it could be. And it's most likely Darby. Um but yeah, pretty much transition directly from the video package to the other side of this feud. We will be seeing Jeff Jarrett and Jay Lethal versus Sting and Darby at the pay-per-view. So obviously this particular group got a chance to talk. Very interesting that Jarrett is in AEW. I don't think we've actually had a show since his debut for us to really talk about it. So, what do you think about Double J being all elite?
The last outlaw. Hey, man. I'm interested to see where it goes.
Mm-hmm.
More so than anything. Because, I mean, I was enjoying the little snippets we've seen of him in the indies lately.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I don't know. But I also feel like Sting's getting to the point where he's like, going to legitimately be done soon.
I'm sure.
And I feel like this will be a cool, not so much for Jay, because Jay is also getting up there in age, but more so for like Darby as like that true like passing of the torch, end of an era type moment.
Mm-hmm. I agree. It's also going to be interesting because obviously he is doing some on-screen stuff right now, but he was hired to do a pretty significant job. I think going into 2023, they have teased a restructure of the pay-per-view schedule and potentially some new and interesting things coming on the heels of him being here. Another weird seeing Jared and Sting wrestle, but it's getting the buzz. Yeah, I agree. And, Darby and Sting have been inseparable since Sting arrived. I mean, it makes sense given Sting's limitations, with his age and everything like that. But I think they've done an amazing job protecting him. Every time he gets in the ring, it feels really special, and he does just a little bit more than he did last time. And yeah, I love how they've been able to balance it without cramping Darby's style. Because he is kind of like the loner kid. And, so seeing him have a constant companion without it coming off as forced, I think they did a very good job there.
Yeah, they definitely have done a really good job with the relationship. And like you said, protecting Sting at 66, 67?
Yeah.
Sting is these days. Which to think that he's doing the things that he's doing, there's people his age who can barely get up in the morning. No less do the dives and through the tables and all kinds of crazy stuff that he's been doing. And I'm just so glad he's able to go out on his own terms.
Yeah, for sure. And it just shows like people like him and Dustin Rhodes and Christopher Daniels. A lot of these legacy talents at this point still have quite a bit in the tank and can not only be a benefit backstage, but show the whippersnappers how it's done in the ring in real time. Hey man, look.
Hey man, look. Kaz, he's another one. Kingston.
Mm-hmm.
All the Japanese guys. Oh man, love the old Japanese guys.
Regal wore a pair of Knucks the other week, so
Hey,
the old guys are ready to throw down.
I want him to punch Max in the face so bad, just one time, like just one more,
It's so funny. We'll get to the main event was a doozy.
Sure was.
Touches on the main event of the pay-per-view, so we'll definitely get there. But it's just very interesting to me how Regal can gaze upon Max with such reverence, but also disgust at the same time. Because we'll get to it. We'll talk about it at the end.
Yes.
Next, the Acclaimed put out their latest music video. Joker is a huge fan of the Acclaimed.
Loves everyone because everyone loves the Acclaimed.
Scissor me,
daddy ass.
Mm-hmm. Nice, excellent work. I know you all out in the universe also scissored. I appreciate it. I felt it. It's weird because like both of these things circling the old men are they're ready to fight.
Hey, I'm just saying, I'm shout out to my man Eddie Kingston. I'm so happy he gets to live his life dream of fighting all of these Japanese greats. It makes me so happy for him.
Yes, we will plug that really quick. I did not actually write it down. I tried to skip the Rampage stuff since we're not covering that in lieu of talking more about the pay-per-view. But yes, the match with them specifically, I'm very, very excited for because my boy, Takeshita, is back in the States, baby. Cinnabon and I missed him very, very much.
You and Cinnabon.
My lad, he's back. Bowens came to the ring and they introduced their rap with a rap, which I think is very interesting.
It's the Acclaimed thing to do.
It's true. It's true. Of course, talked about the tri-state area. I guess Jay Leno was recently like seriously burned.
Yes, he had surgery for it.
They definitely made sure to PC that up after he included it in the rap. Tony Schiavone made sure to make a special shout out to his best friend Jay Leno. So hopefully he won't be mad about that. But yeah, so Bowens comes to the ring, they do the rap, and then they introduce the music video, which was that was a piece that was a masterpiece. Every one of these that they put out, I'm just like, I didn't think it could get any better, and then they did this one.
And the fact that like, I love that they're always comedic and they don't take themselves seriously, and like that's the whole shtick.
Mm-hmm.
Like they play off of it, and it works so well, and it doesn't feel like overly gimmicky, if that makes sense. It's dumb and it's fun, and sometimes wrestling is supposed to be dumb and fun, and I enjoy my dumb and fun moments in wrestling, and then to boot, they can kill it in the ring.
Yeah.
And Bowen showing that in this match.
And it's so interesting what gets over and what doesn't, because they're not the only, goofy kind of act that AEW has, but I mean, the hold that, scissor me daddy ass, and, just that.
The eruption, the second that siren hits.
Yeah.
You hear that siren, everybody starts to lose their damn minds. It's amazing.
The music video was pretty cool. Captain Insano made his triumphant return to the big screen. Very interesting way to kind of lead into it. Very heavy Waterboy reference. With
Made me so happy.
With Paul White, picking up the mantle again. And it was basically a whole spoof parody rap about their opponents for Full Gear, Keith Lee and Swerve, Sneaky Swerve. And while they did make a couple of jabs at Keith, kind of, I think the one that stands out to me the most is the Cleveland Jr. comment, them comparing his stature to that of Cleveland Jr. For the most part, it was really just a dig at Sneaky Swerve. Like, they talked about how they think he can't rap. He's, hanging out with these D-list celebrities, trying to make himself look important. Like, they really dragged him.
Yeah, he needed to do an answer track. I'm just saying. Anyway,
I'm sure he will. I think that was, look, man, that would be cool as hell.
Hey, man, it's AEW. I wouldn't be surprised in the slightest, but that's for another day.
I mean, they did that rap battle live. Weren't we there for that?
Yes, we were. The parody version of Keith Lee and Swerve in the music video, took me out. Okay.
Yeah, because the music video was just them, going around and antics ensue, and them just constantly outsmarting these two parodies of their opponents. Beautifully done, really, really spot on, and not too much, because you could take it too far.
Yeah, it was still in good taste, as it could possibly have been. But watching Swerve in the ring every time, I'm just like, ugh. Give this man every title belt that exists. Like, his precision, all of it, just outstanding.
Yeah, no, I agree. And I mean, this kind of transitions into the next segment, which is their actual match. Obviously Bowens came out to introduce the music video, but it was to face Swerve as like a warm-up match, they called it, before the pay-per-view. And Swerve, he wasn't outwardly pissed about the rap, but you could tell, like, some of that stuff, I mean, he was not happy about it.
He said some messed up stuff, man. You were there.
Yeah, there's no way I could do it justice. I'm sure it'll be on YouTube by the time this podcast ends. So just check it out. It's worth the 2 minutes of your time.
I'm sure it's already up. It was ridiculous. Oh man, I love it. It's stupid.
But yeah, I won't recap the match, but I mean, the two of them are amazing. Swerve definitely came in with the fire from the rap, and he pretty much was just trying to inflict some sort of punishment before the match on Saturday. So,
and inflict he did. Samson went over to Bowens, so I'm hoping it was just for the shot, but he was limiting the movement of his arm. So Swerve was working the ever-loving hell out of his right arm, including one move he did that just looked absolutely terrible. So hopefully everything's fine. But yeah, he went in there to absolutely dismantle that man, and he truly did.
Yeah, I mean,
Sneaky Swerve at it again.
Won't be going in at 100%, that's for sure. Really quickly, let's double back real quick between Jeff Jarrett and Lethal and Darby and Sting. Who do you call for that match? I don't think I figure we should cover them as they're coming up, so we don't have to double back on it.
I would imagine Darby and Sting.
I'm kind of going Jarrett and Jay Lethal, only because Jarrett is new to the company. So
that's true.
And Darby and Sting lose nothing if they lose, especially if they do some underhanded stuff. I mean, it's heel stuff. I'm sure it won't be clean.
Yeah, that's true.
All right. But yes, and then so for the tag titles, I mean, obviously the Acclaimed have to retain. There's no way they're going back.
Oh yeah, I mean, AEW now stands for Acclaimed every Wednesday.
Yep. I'm sure FTR will be the ones who actually take the titles off of them. They've been teasing this showdown between the two of them for quite a while, since they pretty much got the titles. So I'm sure that that's how things will shake out in 2023. Jade Cargill promo next. Obviously, still pissed about the fact that Nyla Rose has stolen the TBS title from her. Yes. She had the quotes when they flashed the official match. Nyla is listed as the TBS champion,
and she's holding the belt.
And she's holding the belt. Well, I mean, it's in her possession. It's 9/10.
Hey, that's what that means, I guess.
But Jade made a pretty good point. I mean, she's done a lot for the company. It's not just the baddies that have failed to get the title back for her. I mean, Nyla's run past security people, tech, like anybody could have helped her. Help the queen. Damn it.
Hey, man, I know you would have.
Of course I would. That one seems pretty straightforward. I mean, as much as they've been dragging this out, I'm sure Jade is going to retain.
Oh, yeah. I mean, obviously.
I think it'll be fun, though. I wonder what they're going to come out dressed as. Because, they're both just big, beefy nerds.
Yes. Big, beefy men slapping meats.
Yes, we'll get to that. Actually, that's the next segment. What a wonderful segue, Joker. Want to make a special shout out to our regular here, Elvis. Good to see you, man. Thanks so much for joining us. Sorry to hear about your mom. Hopefully she gets better. Next segment, we had Samoa Joe's interview. Tony Schiavone met him in the ring. For those, we didn't get a chance to cover it last week. Samoa Joe, I mean, did Samoa Joe type stuff. I mean, him and War Joe has been a thing for several weeks at this point. But yeah, now it's time for big beefy men slapping meat.
Slapping meats.
Yep. The crowd is pretty heavily behind Wardlow. Obviously, he's the not hometown hero, but he's the most beloved. But Joe said that he wasn't going to wait around to be the victim. Obviously, retaliating after Wardlow flat out said he wanted every title in the company, which of course would include the Ring of Honor TV title.
Yep. Which Joe currently holds.
Yeah, so he wasn't going to wait around. Basically, he ran his mouth and he found out. Powerhouse Hobbs makes the interruption here pretty short and sweet. I mean, they all are just ready to beat each other up. Wardlow comes out from the crowd to attack Joe, and like it was just this whole, he makes a dive over the ropes. Like, it's going to be crazy. Slapping meats. Who you got? Because they made it official. It is going to be a 3-way match for the TNT title. So Joe's title is not on the line. It is only Wardlow's. Now, for those who do not watch regularly or rely on us, your unreliable. So sorry. I'm going to try to be back more often. I promise. For those who have not been keeping score, Powerhouse Hobbs is now with the firm, right? No, he's with the embassy. He is with the embassy. He is with Brian Cage and Khan and who's the Samoan? I can never remember all of the members of the embassy. Prince Nana.
Toa Leon.
Thank you. So yes, Powerhouse Hobbs joined them a couple of weeks ago. They're not always seen together, but obviously having the title would bring some prestige to that group. Joe already has a title, but honestly, I think this is just an opportunity for Wardlow to look strong.
Yeah, I agree. Plus, I mean, you got him, Hobbs, and Joe. It's going to be crazy because all three of those guys are rather, I don't want to say athletic because they're wrestlers, so they're going to be athletic, but they're agile for their size. I feel like is a better way of putting it. I'm hoping it spirals into You know, I'm hoping it spirals into something with Hobbs. I honestly wouldn't be upset seeing Hobbs win.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's anyone's game. I feel like Wardlow's going to retain, personally, but
Mm-hmm.
I'm excited to find out.
Yep, we definitely have some people who agree. I kind of agree also with the last portion of this. Hobbs has been doing well for himself, but I do feel like it's kind of the big guy curse in AEW.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like there are a lot of big strapping young lads, and I mean, unless you kind of, I don't, what AEW does not need is another belt. um, but I think that more of
Big Mad
these,
Belt.
right, I think more of these situations where you have similar style opponents facing each other. I don't know. I'm not sure, but I agree. I think Wardlow will probably win. But I wouldn't be mad if Hobbs walked away with the win here. Giving him something to do for a little while. Going through a couple of comments here. Another fan favorite. Hey girl, good to see you.
Of course we did.
Who should be the one to take Jade Cargill's title, and why should it be Vicky Guerrero? You're absolutely right. I mean,
Because she can yell, excuse me.
right. I mean, if you scream at a high enough decibel, she would just pass out.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Also, yes, needed to throw that out there. Didn't get to talk about it, but yeah, that Wardlow versus Cage match was absolutely fire.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god, that match was crazy. Watching big beefy men
Slapping me.
slapping meats.
Hey, man.
And
Sometimes that's all you need.
oh my goodness. Like Cage never ceases to amaze me with the amount of raw power that man has, and like deep within into a match. Like pulling moonsaults out of nowhere. Standing moonsaults. Man's like 280.
Yeah.
Makes no sense.
Plus, I mean, he's also just like, he knows how to use the strength.
Yep. And same with Wardlow. I feel like Wardlow, I mean, you saw that swan dive he did, that topic on Helio he did over the ropes. Like that was amazing.
Yep. I think that's meant to be a little appetizer
That's gonna
for what's to come on Saturday.
Oh, I'm so excited.
It is on Saturday, folks, not Sunday. We'll get to that later. Up next, and I'm gonna kind of skip around a little bit because the counterpart to this does come a little bit later in the show. But I want to cover it all at once so that we can talk about the match that goes along with it. Dr. Britt Baker, DMD, cut the best promo of her entire career tonight.
Surely did.
It was just her and the camera. She was looking straight into all of us, talking straight to Saraya. Talking about how she won't have her accomplishments belittled, that Saraya's stuck in the past while she's, trudging ahead toward the future. No, she has never worked Madison Square Garden, but she did work Daly's Place and wrestled during one of the darkest eras, so I'm not sure. In answer to this particular question right here, is Britt a babyface now? I don't think so. I think at the end of the day, Saraya is still the one that the crowd is going to probably get behind. But I do think that she spoke from the heart. I'm sure it is difficult for someone who gave everything to this division during a time where people weren't talking about it, or if they were, they weren't saying anything good, and really forged a path for the locker room behind her. And now you have someone like Saraya on the scene, who is just instantly recognizable. I don't know. I think that if nothing else, she was very honest about how she felt, and I'm sure at the end of the day, Saraya is going to walk away with the win here. It's got to happen. It's her first match back after 5 years. It's got to happen. But I think they've done an amazing job building this. And honestly, since Saraya has hit the scene, the women's division has pivoted.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm very excited to see. Plus, you never know. Britt could catch the win here. I know it's her first match back, but it's her first match back.
Look,
I think you get away with it.
If there's anything that's certain in AEW is that nothing is certain.
Exactly.
None of these matches are 100% set in stone because they've proven that they are willing to pull the swerve where it makes sense.
Yep.
So I don't know, but I think that at the end of the day, this is the dawning of a new era for the AEW women's division. You know, we've been seeing a lot more video packages, interviews. Technically, the women's match was the main event. You know, we did end the show with a promo segment to set up the main event for, the pay-per-view. But I don't know. I think that between Saraya and Madison Rain, I know came in and
Maria Kanellis.
Yes, thank you. So I'm very excited because Impact's women's division is phenomenal. So I'm looking forward to it. Very much looking forward to it. Is Saraya single? Probably not. I wish so. She's beautiful. Speaking of which, circling onto her interview with Renee Paquette. Obviously, I don't know if we've had a chance to talk about her. I think we did.
I think, yeah, we did.
In case you missed it, Renee's with AEW now, which makes sense. Her husband's there. It's all one big happy family. It's really
ain't going nowhere.
But Saraya essentially feels very lucky to be wrestling. Not too long ago, she thought that this was going to be the end, and that she chose to be here. But basically, she's tired of talking because she is she's just ready to fight. Your thoughts? Who do you think walks away with the dub?
I'm sorry.
Oh no.
I was yawning. What was the question?
Strong words. Tony's been an afterthought. She feels unimportant. And she didn't get a chance to cut a promo. Yeah. And I think that it's very hard. I was going to kind of talk about this a bit more. But I guess maybe we can kind of lump the women's match in. We're going a little out of order, but you know what? Screw it. Why not? It was an interim title qualifier match. It was Toni Storm versus Anna JAS. And if she won, then, the next person that whoever won between Jamie Hayter and Toni Storm, that's who would face Anna. And we kind of just confirmed amongst ourselves today that, Thunder Rosa is going to be out for quite some time. And so, without her relinquishing the title, this isn't the actual women's division title. So do you treat it any less because it's interim? Especially with Rosa being out for so long? I don't know. Do you feel like that kind of brings a stigma over why the Saraya Britt thing is getting more traction than, the actual women's title match?
Yeah, but I mean, what else would get more, time over this being, Britt said it herself in her promo. She is the face of the women's division in AEW. And that being the case, you've got Saraya coming back after 5 years of not wrestling. I don't know who Jamie could mean. Who could be fighting, and what could be going on in the women's division without one of those two being the champion to draw more attention to the championship.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, last thing on this, Hater should just end this reign. Well, I think if at the end of the day, if Hater walks away with the title and Britt walks away with the win, you won't be able to tell that group anything for quite some time. And their heads already can barely fit through the door. So we'll just have to wait and see. The match between Toni Storm and Anna JAS went pretty much how you'd expect. Nothing super monumental here, but I will say that Anna J is coming along as far as being able to express herself more. So I think the more that we see of her, she'll continue to grow into a fully seasoned wrestler. But Toni Storm with the Texas Cloverleaf for the win, and Jamie Hayter does come out to interrupt the victory to stare each other down for the title. So we've kind of covered all of the women's division stuff in its entirety. And I guess we'll just have to wait back and see who walks away with the big dub and what that means going forward.
Yeah, because, who holds the title coming out of Full Gear is going to vastly change the landscape of who we see vying for the title.
Yeah, I kind of wish that, I know it would be not humiliating, but I'm sure Rosa would not agree to it. But I wish that they would just have her kind of come back. I know CM Punk is a taboo topic currently within the AEW fandom, but
he shall not be named.
Yes, Voldemort himself.
You said his name.
I know, but like the way he came back and lost to Moxley so quickly, like they could do it. It would be possible, but Rosa would have to agree, and I don't think she will. I want the Among Us light. I want it too. I need to rearrange how stuff is plugged in. I really did try for you, but the cord does not reach to the outlet. I'm sorry. Next week, I got you. Mm-hmm. Circling back to a pretty amazing match, the return of Darius Martin completing the pack that is Top Flight, and I'm assuming mentor. I believe they've worked together. It seems AR Fox making his Dynamite debut. They usually don't bring people onto like TV. Well, that's not true. They've brought some people onto the show that they haven't actually signed, but we don't have an All Elite banner yet. So
I was gonna say, you usually have to be of substance, which AR Fox is I think 15, 17,
yep.
17,
15, nope, 15-year veteran of the Indies. Top Flight looked amazing. It, even with the injury.
Shout out to Darius coming back from that car accident.
Yeah, man, especially having just come back from being injured before that. So
he had what, 2 matches?
Yeah, pretty much
before the accident. Yeah.
So
that was terrible.
I can't wait to see more of them, especially if AR Fox does stick around. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of great stuff to be seen. It was a high flyer's delight. I could not possibly sit here and recap every single thing that happened. There were jumps, there were flips.
Go watch it. Just go watch it.
He tucked as if he were diving off the high dive. It was amazing. I was very impressed. But Pac essentially got the Black Arrow win. And they cut a promo after the match, which summoned
Black Arrow after Fear Factor.
Yes.
Man ate a lot of finishers.
Yes, he did. But yes, they cut a promo, all but summoning the Elite from Purgatory to battle them at the pay-per-view. I can't wait to see the gear. I can't wait to hear the pop. I am very, very excited about this match.
Yo, listen. This match was amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I agreed. Death Triangle have been tearing it up because it seems like they defend those titles damn near every week. It's amazing. I appreciate them. I cannot wait for this match on Saturday. It might be the match I'm most looking forward to. And yes, Top Flight, I'm so happy to see the Martin brothers back together again. For those who were there when they first showed up in AEW and fought the Young Bucks.
Oh, yes.
At this point, I feel like they would have already had a title reign.
Mm-hmm.
If things had gone differently, but I'm so glad that Darius has not given up and took the 13-month knee injury, came back, had 2 matches, was involved in a car accident. I believe he wasn't even driving at the time, but
right.
Was involved in a really bad car accident and just took that one to the chin too and came back looking as good as he ever has.
Yep.
The fact that they've been apart for so long and yet still are doing things that I've never seen them do before. Top Flight is truly, truly a magnificent tag team, and I can't wait to see what happens going forward.
The rest, that's for sure. And it's also interesting because they're brothers. So, I mean, even with the time apart from a training perspective, you are definitely in sync to a certain degree. So yeah, I loved it. It was definitely match of the night for me. And I can't wait to see what Death Triangle does at the pay-per-view. I mean, the Elite are absolutely nuts too. So
oh yeah, this is gonna be ridiculous.
This is a long pay-per-view, folks.
Oh yeah, it's a long haul.
Strap yourselves in. We're going to kind of go through because we haven't even touched on every single match that has been. I think there's only one that's missing, and I guess we can touch on it now. The steel cage match between Jungle Boy, Jack Perry, and Luchasaurus, the right hand of destruction. Sour. He's a dinosaur.
Yes, he is. Yes, the right hand of destruction.
It's so interesting that they've been able to make this work. I mean, with Christian being injured, this whole feud kind of being sidelined essentially, but still managing to keep it hot. I've just been very impressed. I think that he is well on his way to being Jungle Man.
I'm looking forward to the ascension of Jungle Man.
Hey man, he's already wearing the jacket.
Yeah, that's man stuff 101, I guess. I don't know.
Hope the Elite don't come back with an authority hates us faction. I don't. That's an interesting one. I don't think that they will create a whole faction based around it. However, they could use it to their advantage. I could see them, feeding into, because the whole point of the video packages we've been seeing the past few weeks has been essentially them playing on the fact that they were all but erased so very quickly, in the face of everything that was happening backstage. They were removed from the opening sequences, the intros, no being the Elite, they were stripped of their titles and essentially made it to where as if it never happened. So while I think that it would be kind of lame for them to come in, almost like an Honor No More type situation if those, who watch Impact and that standpoint of everybody's out to get us and blah blah blah, but
just us.
It might be. I don't know though. We're talking to the whole internet right now.
Entire thing.
I think they'd have a leg to stand on if they leaned into it just a little bit, just a little. Joker, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I've been enjoying the video packages that we've been getting so far. And I wouldn't mind them leaning into it a little bit, but yeah, no, I don't want to see a full, like, anti-authority, attitude era-esque type anti-authority. Yeah, no, I don't need that in 2022. We got enough of that when I watch the news, you dig? So, I just want them to come in and have a slaptastic match like they would any other time. And hopefully shake the stigma that has been clouding our beloved AEW.
Indeed. Next we had the next bracket for the World Championship Eliminator Tournament. Ethan Page versus Bandito. We did get a brief video package about Ricky Starks. Obviously, his match needing to be postponed due to a kayfabe injury. Lance Archer launching him into a garage door. So no Ricky Starks this week. Well, no, not true. He's supposed to fight on Rampage. Yes. So you will get your weekly dose of Ricky Starks if that's what you need in your life. But this match was also very good. Bandito is a specimen, man. Like between the strength, the speed, in the beginning parts of the match, it almost felt like Ethan was having a hard time keeping up with like the fluidity of his moves and how quickly he was ready to transition from one thing to the next.
Yeah, Bandito is one of the best luchadors in the world. I mean, hands down. From like you said, from a pure strength perspective.
Yeah, because he like lifted him up like with one arm and everything.
Yeah, the military press with one arm. He deadlift vertical suplexed Ethan Page. Ethan Page is what? Every bit of 260 or something like that. Like Ethan is not a small guy. Like he's like 6'4" and like 260 or something close to that. Like the man's not small. And Bandito is actually quite smaller than he is. And just watching him just slowly just amazing.
Yeah.
Absolutely amazing. Every time I see Bandito, I'm just excited. I was hoping he got to continue, but we all know that Ethan's going to win.
Yep. I mean, they've been calling his shot pretty much from the beginning that Ethan is coming for whoever is the victor at Full Gear. Winter is coming, I guess, is when whoever wins the Eliminator tournament will get their shot. Couple of highlights here. Bandito did do a moonsault from the top of the ring post. So not even from like the top rope, like he got on the ring post and just
to the outside.
To the outside. Avalanche Ego's Edge attempt countered into a crazy Hurricane Rana. Like,
yeah, I don't know how he pulled that off. That was amazing.
Yeah, I mean, just I could sit here and name feat after feat. Bandito is definitely a much welcome addition to the AEW roster, and we're very happy to have him. But unfortunately, came just short. Ethan did hit the Ego's Edge and get the win, so he will be moving forward in the tournament and will more than likely win the whole thing, if we're being honest. All right, main event time. You made it, Joker. I'm so proud of you. Moxley started with a promo. I mean, we were told we were going to hear from both champion and challenger, and we sure did.
We surely did.
Mox came out with Regal, essentially saying that the title doesn't make the person makes the title. So he talked about who is Moxley, and of course Mox referenced he's the bad SOB, man. He's sick in the head. He loves violence. He is a Bamf. In comparison to who is MJF, he's only won one match in the last 6 months. Had a bad feud. Mox touched on his most recent flop of a feud. Went on vacation, came back with a mask and the Firm. and won the chip. That's pretty much it. So, of course, Moxley is not intimidated in the slightest by Maxwell Jacob Freeman. To which the Firm comes out and attacks because
that's what they do.
That's what you do. And MJF does come out to make the save. He's just wearing a wife beater and slacks. He looks like he's ready to whoop some ass. And he cuts his promo. All I put was MJF is so amazing. Like, I can't even sit here and do justice to this man's words. But the gist of it was that he saved Mox not because he likes him, but because he doesn't want to give anybody any excuses when he wins on Saturday. And, just that it's his time. And I believe him. I am 1,000% behind MJF. I know Mox is your guy. And Hangman Page was my champion for the longest time. I am so afraid that as soon as the belt goes on Max, that's going to be it. And I don't want to be that person.
Look, man. Mox will forever be #my champion. He is the patron saint of all Johns.
See, an honorable man came to make the save.
I was getting to that part. If this is truly the successor that William Regal wanted and inadvertently created,
which is wild.
And I don't even know if I could discredit Regal by saying inadvertently, because it seemed like he was legitimately ready to sign Max, even when he was still but yet to put a wee babe, and to see what Max has turned into. Given that little, and I think you said the way that he can look at him with such like adoration and disgust at the same time.
Yep.
Or admiration and disgust at the same time. Like, Max has that ability. People were booing him when he walked out, mixed reaction, because he has been getting kind of tweenered lately anyway. But by the time that man was done, the whole arena is screaming, chanting. That's what a guy looks like. And Max has earned his keep. He's done it the smart way, but Max has done more than pull his weight.
Yeah, that's for sure.
In this company, you know what I mean? And it's been the slow game, it's been the long game, but that's how you say in this business.
Yeah, and I think that it's interesting too that he has taken the slower approach. Like, with his promo skills and everything like that, they could have put him in this position a lot sooner, I think. But with how young the company is, and Max himself is a young guy, I think it was perfect for him to have to essentially work his way up. But it was interesting watching him because he didn't work his way up from the babyface side. We're used to watching the grind from a face. I'm going to put in the work and do the matches and, get my numbers up. And then at the right time, I'm going to call my shot, so almost like in a video game or a story, like seeing things unfold from the villain side was very fascinating. And how he had to be strategic, but in a very honorable way.
And seeing him turning into this, if he truly does become the gentleman villain, like, Sir Regal himself, Max is going to go down as one of the greatest heels in wrestling history.
I believe it.
And him with that strap. As much as I hate the man's guts, I can't wait to see what he does with that belt. But that's Moxley, and Moxley said it best. Training wheels are about to come off.
Yep.
Because the dog can chase the car. What are you going to do when you get it? And so we're really going to find out what Max is truly made of. and I know he's going to do amazing.
Yeah, I agree.
Very
I was trying to
excited.
find updates from tonight to make sure we had covered everything that was going to be happening at the pay-per-view. I think everything that we've covered so far is uh is it. I'm sure with Rampage, there may be one more match added, but for the love of
Please,
God, please put it on
Tony.
the pre-show.
Please, right,
Put it on the
Tony.
pre-show.
Tony, please don't add any more.
No,
No
not to the
more.
because and that's the problem is
Got
like
work the next day.
right. Yes, there are pit stops to the end of the year, like winter is coming and everything like that. But this is the last pay-per-view of the year. And there's, stories that need to be closed out and everything like that. And I get it. But we are but human beings. And some of us, like Joker, have to go to work the next day. And we'll be coming in from a full day of work. Have some mercy, goddammit.
Tony, show mercy, please.
Oh my goodness. Well, with that, everyone, you've managed to sit through one full episode of the Dynamite Recap and Review. We can't wait to be back in the saddle more often. Definitely miss talking to you fine people about AEW and everything going on. Next time you see our lovely faces, it will be next week, and we will not only recap Dynamite, but we will touch base on the results of Full Gear. So get those votes down in the comments on who you think is going to be walking away the winner, and I guess we'll see you next week.
Indeed, indeed. And as always, everyone, enjoy your wrestling and have a wonderful, wonderful week.
Indeed. For Divine Intervention and All Elite Joker, we will catch you next time.
Night.